All right, man. What's up, everybody? It's your man right here, the one, the only, that beautiful Rhode Island Red Rooster, one of the original Road Warlords, and that's always bring you the knowledge and drop the science in this industry of what we call trucking. Uh, Going live tonight to talk about some things that I discovered. I didn't know whether I wanted to do it up here on the YouTube channel or post it up on the Instagram. I'm live now and stuff, so um, I'll probably have to go a little bit harder on the Instagram channel and stuff because this is where I'm posting up things about the Freightliner Cascadia. So, as you guys come in, give me a sound check. Let me know everything is good, and we'll go into tonight's science. Catch it before it goes bad. Let's set this up here. Gonna get all stuff up here. Okay, audio is good. What's going on, Mr. Robbins? James C. Yes, indeed, you are first. Happy Valentine's Day for those of you who participate in the holiday, or what some of us would like to say around the way is that happy get ready to get caught by your side chick day. Anyhow, let's go into tonight's science. Catch it before it goes bad. So, as you guys know, back in 2021, I took my truck over to get the transmission rebuilt, and with the transmission rebuild, I went on here and got everything done, right? Or at least that's what I thought, right? He showed me what was wrong with the transmission. He showed me the condition of the clutch. And, we all agreed it'd be a good idea to go ahead and change it since everything is out, since everything's going to be redone. And, based on the way that I drive and stuff like that, I shouldn't have to mess with the clutch for another couple years. All right. First time I had to do a clutch job on this truck was maybe I think about 8 months after I got the truck from Lone Mountain because the clutch was bad when I got the truck from Lone Mountain. But I was so excited by the fact that I was actually making a boss move for once in my life. I just figured I'll go ahead and ride it and I'll fix it later when I could have just you know stated my claim. They would have went on here and fixed the truck and everything would have been everything. So again, things I should have caught before things got bad. So, yeah, over there in Jackson, Georgia, yep, next to the TA and stuff. So yeah, so each time the clutch, each time the clutch went bad, it never put me down to a point to where I had to get a tow, right? And like I tell people, stuff is that what classifies as a breakdown is when your truck puts you down. So if you know what the problem is and then you're able to take it to a shop and get it repaired, then it really doesn't qualify as a breakdown. It just qualifies as a repair. And so a lot of times your truck tells you what's going on if you tune into it, and it gives you enough time to take care of the issue. And so what I did when I got the transmission rebuilt, um, around July, around July of last year, um, I was in Massachusetts, and so I started climbing up this hill. And the next thing my when my cruise and stuff was on, you know, the clutch started slipping. And I was saying that's strange because usually when clutches go out on me and stuff, it means I can't put the truck in gear. That's what I experienced and stuff there. So when it started slipping, I didn't know what to think. And I'm first thing I'm like, man, okay, dude, I just got this transmission rebuilt and this new clutch. That's not supposed to be happening. So um, I thought it was maybe something that I did and stuff like that. And so, it kept doing it until I got to the rest area. Then when I was checking everything out, checked the clutch, all that stuff there, everything was fine. It never did it again. But I already had it in my mind. I said, "Hey man, listen, yeah, I need to take this thing back to Georgia, find out what's going on, right?" So, um, I completed my load, and I was on my way down to Georgia and stuff. And like I said, I said, well, if it did it once, it got to do it again somewhere. And it never did it. It never did that again in that instance there and stuff. So I was saying, okay, that's kind of odd, but you know, I didn't follow up on it, right? I just kept an eye on it, and that was that. So then, a few months later, it did it again. But this time, the truck was off. The truck was off. I cranked the truck up. I started driving, and it started slipping. I'm like, okay, that's weird. Then I pull over, let the truck run, stuff like that, checking everything out and stuff. I'm like, okay, yeah, I really need to get this thing to Georgia, right? So I started driving. It didn't have that issue anymore. So, um, what I started concluding was, I said, that's kind of a strange thing to do, but it only does it when I run the truck, and it's only when I'm running the truck, and no, it's when I shut the truck off, everything cools down, and then I start driving. Once I crank it right up, the truck has to warm up, and so I tested that issue a few times, and that's sure enough, that's what happened. So I said, well, okay, I'm gonna just continue working instead of going over here and fixing the problem and stuff, right? I'm gonna just continue working, right? I just ignored the issue and said, well, okay, I worked, I got the money, and I said, worst case scenario, it goes out on me, and I gotta go get it fixed somewhere. So the only time it did it though was in those instances there where I just shut off the truck. Um, you know, I let everything cool down, start driving, and that was that. So of course I had to go start looking stuff up, and so you had to start looking things up to see if anybody else had any kind of similar incident or whatever. And so it always kept bringing me back to Francisco Amaya's page, cause he seems to be the most um, in tune when it comes to Freightliner Cascadians. Even though people know how I feel about Francisco Amaya, I feel Francisco puts very good information out about the trucks, but there are certain things and stuff that he do to try to to say, well, you know what, I mean, he brings good information, but he does things that kind of brings attention on things that he shouldn't be bringing attention to and stuff that could put people in trouble. So anyway, following Francisco, followed up on some things, but like I said, it only gave me issue and stuff on those particular instances. And then um, last week I started heading up to Syracuse, and I think I was maybe 45 miles outside of Syracuse and started slipping again. I said, "Oh, buddy," I'm like, "Yeah, this is it right here and stuff." And so, it started slipping. It was on a Saturday, so I'm like, "Man, I'm not even gonna make it to my delivery," and I'm gonna have to get a tow and all this other stuff there. But it it corrected it. Well, the issue didn't linger on longer than what it stopped. It allowed me to still drive and stuff. I was able to make my delivery, and so um, I said, let me check a couple things. I said, man, maybe the transmission fluid and stuff is low. So took it to speed co. They checked it, everything was fine. I said, man, well, I can't drive this truck no more like this. So um, it's a guy that I'm dealing with now and stuff that works on equipment in Washington D.C. So I already had in my mind. I said, look, I called him. I said, hey man, listen, this what my truck doing. If I get the clutch, he said, yeah, bring it on by. We'll go and get it fixed for you. So, um, Monday morning, I picked up the clutch, went over there to the shop yesterday. He went to throw the new clutch in, and when we was doing the test drive, was doing the test drive and stuff. When I mashed the clutch, he was telling me, he said, "Hey man, listen, this is how your clutch supposed to feel." And so prior to that, the clutch was always real tough, And so I figured, well, I drive barefooted, so I drive barefooted and stuff like that. So I just figured, okay, well, of course it's gonna be a little tough, as opposed to me wearing shoes and stuff like that. So, but he was telling me, once he took it apart, he showed me what the problem was. He said, "Man, look, um, this is your clutch right here. This is the self-adjusting clutch. This is the dial right here that you can see through the inspection. Well, it has a little inspection section over there where you can see the dial, and you can see when the clutch begins to wear out and stuff, right? It starts out from good and goes to bad." And so he said, "Man, this thing never moves." So he said, in my analysis, you know, either the clutch was defective or they probably never changed the clutch to start with. So um, when I got the truck back from the guys who did my transmission rebuild, I was, I was happy by the fact that I still, I got my 4.9 back, right? I was able to shift my 4.9 without the gear being kicked out and stuff, and I wasn't really paying attention to the clutch and stuff. So um, all the warning signs and stuff was there. I was talking to, you know, when I used to talk to my brother and stuff like that. He used to hear me try to put the truck in gear. And he's, "Dude, it's not supposed to be doing that. It's not supposed to be taking that long or whatever and stuff, right?" And I'm like, "Well, hey, the truck's always done that." He said, "No, it's not supposed to be doing that and stuff, man. Something's wrong." So, um, instead of listening to better judgment and stuff, I just listen to myself, and that's what happened. So I'm like, could could I have took the truck back and could I have took the truck back and they could have remedied the issue? Yeah, they probably could have, but um, I put other things instead of what was important and stuff, which was get the truck fixed, right? You already done spent your money. You already done spent your money. Um, Prepare for the downtime and stuff, and that's that. Quit riding and stuff until things get absolutely bad. And so, it's just that's just a bad habit that I have and stuff. That's a bad business practice that I have. Cause y'all remember the week before I was supposed to went to California, um, I had that real bad coolant leak and stuff, and so that was from a faulty water pump that I got changed one time before and stuff, right? And so, I noticed it was always leaking, but it was leaking very little, so I just ignored the issue and stuff like that. Just said, okay, I'll wait till things got bad, and then things got bad, and um, things could have been a lot worse, but yeah, things could have been a lot worse and stuff. But I did get the issue remedied to where I didn't have to get the truck. I ain't had to get the truck towed, but I did have to get the road repair people to come out, and they didn't do what they were supposed to do and stuff. And so eventually, I had to fix the truck myself, and then get it over here to a shop to where they finished. They fixed the water pump stuff, and I ain't have any more issues and stuff with that. But again, that was just me. Um, that was just me putting stuff off, and it could have really cost me and stuff, for something that I really wanted to do, which was, go to California. But that's what it is, man. If you know that you have a problem with your equipment, right? If you know you have a problem with the equipment, and you know that you got the money, if you know you got the money and stuff to get it fixed, man, just go ahead and get the thing fixed. Don't worry about the time. Don't worry about how you're gonna make the money up and stuff. Get the thing, cause once it's fixed, then get Um, Finding somebody to do the job, that's stressful. But then what's more stressful is when the issue now has to be resolved. It has to be remedied, and there's nothing else you can do. You parked on the side of the road, or something. You broke down on the side of the road somewhere. So now you got to get a tow truck to come get you. Um, and that's probably the most expensive part, the towing stuff. Just like when my air system was messing up. I knew my air system was messing up, but I kept procrastinating, putting stuff off. I said, well, I'm gonna wait till things get absolutely bad, and then that's what happened. And so, my truck pretty much got towed for nothing. You know, my truck got towed for nothing, and I had more in the tow than I did to repair. So, could just go figure, right? But you think I would learn from that situation there, but I mean, it's just something that I go through and stuff, and I put this information out to you guys to say, man, look, when you know something wrong, go ahead and fix it. And so, I mean, I feel like in this situation here, I got lucky. I got lucky, guys. I got the load off, and from Syracuse to Washington D.C., um, almost 400 miles. Dead, 400 miles and stuff. Truck didn't give me no problem. It made it down here to the shop, but a lot of guys and stuff, man, running the issues like that. They know a guy in the area, but they can't get to him because they too far away. You know, uh, made me think about made me think about this guy named Big Boy. I guess y'all probably might be familiar with him and stuff on TikTok, but he tells stories and stuff about what's going on with him. And so one of the things that he was saying was his truck went down on him and stuff, and it cost him, I believe, 12. I think it cost him about $12,000 to get fixed. And so his issue was the same thing. It was a transmission issue, but he took his truck to the dealership, and they hit him up for all that money. And so uh, to spend money like that, it's not really a flex. It's not really a flex and stuff. So when people post things up like that, like, oh man, I had to spend 12, $13,000 to get this fixed. That's not a flex. You know, it's not a flex and stuff. And so, if things could have been remedied um, at the time issue and stuff came up, then well, you know, okay, even him, he even admitted himself and stuff. If he could have made it back to his neck of the woods, then the repair would have cost him. The repair, he probably would have spent half of what he had and stuff in the repair. So, uh, now mind you, this is the same guy. Yeah, Big Boy's the same guy and stuff that's telling you and stuff not to be an own operator. By the way, he's telling you not to be an own operator, and yet um, that truck that went down, that was just one of his many trucks that he's running. He wasn't even driving; he had to drive in that one. So go figure. He tell you that you're not gonna be making no money and stuff, and meanwhile, he's up here flexing about how much money he had to spend on getting his truck fixed, and he got somebody driving for him. But just go out here and be a company driver because you ain't gonna make no money as own operator. Um, but yeah, it made me have to take a step back and stuff to see that some of the stuff I really do need to oversee. Some of the stuff I really do need to oversee and stuff. But I guess I was more excited about the fact that this transmission issue is about to be remedied, and the clutch. You know, you can't really screw a clutch up. You can't really screw a clutch up. I mean, you just take the old one out, put the new one in. Resurface the flywheel. Resurface the flywheel. Everything else pretty much self-explanatory. So, um, but I guess you can. And my thing is, I believe they put the same clutch back in there, cause if they would have put a new one in there like they said they did, then this clutch here would feel how this clutch feels here and stuff. That's how it would have felt when I got my truck back, but it didn't. It still felt the same, and I thought that the way that it felt was normal. You know, I thought the way that it felt was normal stuff, but it's not the case. So um, now I know, now I know and stuff, but it's really too late to do anything about as far as like who's at fault because of how long and stuff it went on. But the issue is the issue is it's done now. Um, I still had to spend money, it cost me a little downtime, but it's just it is what it is. I'm just glad I had good people. I'm just glad I had good people and stuff, and I got to reach out to this guy and stuff to get this thing done, cause I don't think I could have trusted anybody else to do the job. To be honest with you, I mean, this guy here, he fixed my kingpins. He fixed my kingpins on a Sunday. This guy, he got a 7-day operation. He got 7-day operation. I told him what was going on. Yeah, same thing, kingpins. This is something I've been dealing with I bought the kingpins, trying to find somebody to work on them and stuff. Every time I talk to somebody, they're saying, hey, listen, I need to keep your truck for about a day or two because this is what I got to do and so on and so forth. I kept putting it off, and the truck was just riding ragged and stuff like that. I was going through all these steer tires and stuff like that, and this guy gave me enough he reached out to me on Facebook Market, you know. I reach out, I talk to him, took the stuff, took the truck to him, and I'm like, man, dude, you got my business from here on. You got my business from here on and stuff. So I say, I mean, really, he's a godsend, cause one week he fixed my kingpin. The next week he's in position to fix my clutch. Um, he started on it, and he started on, and they didn't leave until they got the job done. I got there at 10 o'clock. I got there at 10 o'clock yesterday, and 9 o'clock yesterday evening and stuff. He was done. They was not going home until they got their clutch fixed. Same thing with the kingpins. I went there on a Sunday. He charged me regular rates and stuff like that. None of this after hours stuff. He came out there, he came out there, did the job and stuff. It's just like I said, man, dude, I have you, you know, we're gonna have this thing done in about 4 hours. Everybody else with the kingpins, man, look, come here in the morning, pick your truck up, pick your truck up tomorrow, stuff like that. Questionable people, and then you know, that's where all the problems start. You leave your truck and stuff, and then you come back, and then your CPC4 is gone out your truck. Oh, well, somebody broke in the shop last night. Somebody broke in the shop last night, stole your CPC4. So, you're going in for one issue, and now you got, now you're dealing with something completely different. So, um, yeah. So I just kept putting it off, but you know, now was the time to act, and I'm glad I did it, cause one thing led to another. And now all these things and stuff are fixed. The carrier bearings fixed. Even though I still got bad vibration and stuff like that. So the only conclusion I can think now is the shocks and stuff are bad. But it's cleanup time now. So um, what I can say is that get your connections up. Get up your connections. Um, because when things and stuff happen, man, I mean, it's nothing. It's nothing more. It's nothing that will make you feel more better than the fact that you in good hands and stuff. Like, hey, man, look, I got an issue with this truck here and stuff. Yeah, bring it on here. We're going to get you fixed. We're going to get you worked on and stuff like that. And they not keeping your truck, 2 or 3 days and all this stuff. They're like, you coming in there, yeah, okay, pull on in here and stuff. Let's start tearing stuff down. That's how he was. Um, you know, and like I said, I mean, for this guy, for this guy to work on a Sunday, for this guy to work on a Sunday out of all days and stuff, man, like, hey, um, he would have got me right Saturday if I would have got up there if I would have got up there early. But he said, all right, fine, come on in Sunday. Even though I'm thinking like Monday, and same thing with the clutch. Yeah, the same thing with the clutch and stuff, man. If I could have got that clutch to him, if I could have got that clutch to him and stuff on the Sunday, he would have fixed it Sunday. But I had to wait for the place to open up, and there it is. And there, now I'm back riding and stuff, and so um, yeah, it's just yeah, with just that, I'm thankful. But if you're gonna do this right, get your connections up. Don't be afraid to talk to people and stuff. It's like, I mean, um, I met this guy on Facebook Market. I know it's very questionable things and stuff that go on Facebook Market, but one of the things that I say about taking your truck to a shop is that the more run down and raggedy it is, the more small it is, the better the job. Because um, I tell people this: if you go to a dealership, right? If you go to a dealership, mechanics in there, mechanics in the dealership are making anywhere between what 20. They're making anywhere between 25, 30. They're making anywhere between 25 to $30 an hour, right? Working on your truck. And so people think, hey man, yeah, that's good money. $30 an hour, $30 an hour and stuff, you guarantee 40 hours a week and stuff like that, you know. But then when you start looking at the math of it, and I'm like, this is something that I see. So if I see it, just imagine how these guys feel. So let's take somewhere like Freightliner, for instance. Okay, when you take your truck to Freightliner, Freightliner had a they once you check your truck in, they put your truck in what they call, check and advise or express status, which means that in 2 hours, they're gonna have some kind of resolution to the problem that you're having with your equipment, right? So, um, their labor is $150 an hour, right? It has it right on up the great big old sign and stuff. Labor, $150 an hour. And I guess I'm using maybe I'm using worst case scenario. Well, I'm using best case scenario, but some places may be a little bit higher. But that's what the pay is and stuff across the board, anywhere from 25 to $30 an hour. So you look at that and say that, well, the mechanic is making $30 an hour, right? But then he sees that the labor is $150. So the question you got to ask is that what kind of a job are you going to expect the person that's working on your truck to do if they're only getting 16%? If they're only getting 16% of that $150 an hour that they're being charged. And so um, now they have to show what they do and stuff on on a timesheet or whatever and stuff. And again, that's all they get paid is $150 an hour. That's 16%, 16.5% if it's between 25 to $30 an hour, anywhere between 16 to 18%. 16 to 18% for labor. Now they don't get Now this is labor that they have to do and stuff in order to work on your equipment. Now all the product and everything and stuff that's involved in that, that's a different charge. That's a different charge, and their labor force is only getting paid 18%. So, what kind of a job do you think they're going to do on your equipment? So, when we started advising you, okay, look, it's not a good idea for you to take your truck to the dealership. Now you know why. Because if we can recognize this as business people, right? Then if they start doing the numbers and stuff like that, and they recognize that too, what kind of a job they're going to do. Now, isn't banked upon their reputation and stuff isn't banked upon what they do. So if they mess the equipment up, then the only thing you can do is go after Freightliner. But you can't go after the particular mechanic that did the work. So let's flip the script now and stuff and say that, well, all right, now he's independent and he has his own shop. So why is it he doesn't charge? Why is it that he's not charging as much as the dealerships? And the reason why is because he now gets 100% of all labor. He gets 100% of all labor. So if he gets 100% of that, then he's done checked all the costs and stuff like that. He's done checked all the costs and um, his net value in his net value and stuff and what he does. And so it's a complete big difference because he gets 100% of that, but his reputation is banked upon the type of work that he does on your equipment. He gets 100% of that. So he can charge. So when you're saying, well, daggone, that's a fair price. Yeah, it's a fair price because again, he done took all this overhead and stuff and incorporated in his labor costs and stuff, which is, it's a fair cost. But again, that's how much he makes. So just like the guy that worked on my truck, just like the guy that worked on my truck, he gets 100% of what he charges. So his job is to get the job done and get me in and out of there. So if he holds me up for a week, it doesn't do him any good unless he got other stuff to do in front of me, which is also getting paid and stuff once he gets the job done. And so these are the shops and stuff that you need to be looking at, mostly independent shops and stuff because, they get paid by the job. It's not by the hour. So the longer your equipment stays there, the longer the equipment stays there and stuff, the more money he intends to lose because he can't move to the next job until he gets you out the door. And so, but he also knows that the job that he does and stuff has to be a good job because if not, then word of mouth, he gets a bad reputation and stuff, and then now you got to close his doors. So, um, anybody that's called and stuff and asked me, what do I feel about certain mechanics and mechanic shops and stuff? What are you supposed to be looking for? I always tell them, I said, man, look, the most smallest, the smallest one you can find, the most raggedy one that you can find, the most ragless one you can find, and say, and the mechanic is always dirty. Everything around there is always dirty and stuff. I said, those are the people that's gonna do the best job on your stuff. You know, um, these dealerships, they nothing but formalities and stuff. And the reason why they're there is they're just they just do warranty work and stuff. If you decide to go the new route, you get your new truck again, which is nothing wrong with that. If you go get your new truck, then they're always going to be advising, yeah, okay, take it to one of our dealerships because they don't want you dissatisfied with the product. You know, yeah, they want you taking it there and stuff. Yeah, once the new truck comes in there and stuff, then they got a completely different policy about what comes in there new. Okay, yeah, get him in here, check out what's going on, stuff, get his stuff done right because um reputation is everything, and then you get a survey and stuff, right? Okay, how good was your service and stuff? Here, was it good? Was it bad and stuff? And if they don't get a good mark, then they don't get no kickback. In fact, it's just like selling just like selling certain shoes and stuff. Certain shops, if they don't if they don't own up the task or whatever and stuff, like just like we leased on to carriers and stuff. I mean, that's what a lot of these shops are. They're leased on to they're leased on the freight line, and if they don't perform in the way it's supposed to be performed, then you know they don't get those kickbacks and stuff like that. And eventually, they get their you know, they get their contract discontinued. Then they got to close shop or either go independent. But they got to stay within par. So you know how you see certain trucks get certain priority over other trucks. But that's what it is. Yes, I use a small shop for my old truck, but Let's see, but with my new truck, I have to take it to the dealership and get the warranty work. Yeah, and that's what that is and stuff is that that's what the shops and stuff are there for. So if you go in there and your truck is older, then yeah, everybody's looking around. They're kind of confused. Well, hey, um, I don't know how to. They probably could work on the 12.7, but this is they never had any kind of dealings with a 12.7. You know, they go to the seminars and stuff like that. They teach them about the new engines coming out. Okay, all right, here's the new DD13 and the new DD15. Get familiar with this and stuff because these trucks are gonna be coming in here. This is the new emission system and stuff like that. The ISX, I mean not ISX, the X15 Cummins, those things that they go to get those training and stuff there. So um, there is some familiarity to some of the older engines, but I mean, most of the stuff that they're touching is the newer stuff, and they're not really going into the depths of it, and they because they're saying the engine is new and you know if it needs that, then we'll send it up here and stuff, or we'll just send them a whole new engine. Yeah, just take this one out. We ain't taking off heads. We're not taking off heads and cranks and all this other stuff there. We're gonna take the entire block out and send it up here and stuff, and we're gonna let the QA people up here deal with that. We're just gonna send you a new engine. You put the new engine in and stuff. Hook this up. Send them on up the road and stuff. We ain't changing head gaskets and um, we're not changing head gaskets. None of that stuff there. Guys, trucks under warranty. It shouldn't be doing that and stuff. We send it to the QA and then they do it. We're just gonna teach you um, to troubleshoot certain things and stuff like that. What's some of the things that's gonna be coming in there frequently? Fix that. Send them on up the road. If it's bad enough, then yeah, we'll deal with that as it comes and stuff. And so that's what they train them to do. That's what they train them to do and stuff. And so to get familiar with some of the older stuff, you know, they got to get with some of they got a familiarity with breaking down the engine and stuff. But then it still takes those and stuff who deal with it on the regular. Like, all right, you already a mechanic and stuff. Okay, come on in here one weekend and stuff while you ain't doing nothing. I got this. I'm already working on this 12.7. I'm gonna break it down and stuff, and then I'm gonna show you some stuff, and then and that's how you learn that way. So you got the skill and the know-how. So okay, I'm gonna go on independent, open up my own shop. So no matter who comes in there, no matter what you have, whether it's a 60 series or whether you got a Cummins or whether you got a Cat, you know, um, that's where they make money at and stuff. But being a diesel mechanic, I used to think that. I said, yeah, diesel mechanics make money and stuff. I mean, yeah, it's a skill. It's a skill and stuff. But if you're not experienced, it's just like driving truck. Nobody wants to. You just got a basic. You just got a basic set, so nobody really wants to turn you wide open on something, and then yeah, they want to turn you open. They would like to do that and stuff like that, but it's just you just don't have the experience and stuff. So you work up to that, and which takes time. But if your mindset, if you living way above your means and stuff like that, and you got big dreams, big ambitions, and you're not patient, then well, that's when the job becomes a nightmare. Like how it is in trucking. You you see the signs and stuff. They tell you, yeah, you can make $100,000, but you can make $100,000, but I mean, you just ain't got that mentality. You get the truck, you got to get familiar with the road and stuff. Okay, where are things at? You don't know, so you got to learn. You got to learn, the terrain, certain highways and stuff like that. I mean, you just ain't gonna come out here and start making miles and stuff, and you don't know where you're going. You could probably get the load to the city, but then now you got to learn certain routes and stuff like that and get familiar with certain things, the hours of service, that sort of stuff there. So, you know, you're going to make mistakes in the process, which is going to Um, you know, it. I ain't gonna say it slows it slow. It doesn't slow down the progression. It's just um, what you're expecting to make, you ain't gonna make it. Let's see, these dealerships didn't know how to work on the N14. They just wanted to rebuild it, and that's when I found the small. Yeah, so yeah, and the other thing and stuff these dealerships do, they their prices are high on certain things because the purpose is to deviate you from even going in there to start with. Cause I used to think that too. When I first jumped into the own operator thing, I said, man, dude, I'm just strictly dealing with the dealership. So um, I took my truck in for warranty work, and I said, well, hey, since I'm in here, go ahead and give me a PM. And this was back in 2000, and this was back in 2007. So um, they did all the warranty work and stuff. They did the PM. They gave me a bill for $600 for a PM service. That's to change the oil, change the oil, change fuel filter, stuff like that. $600. I said, man, okay, well, it's the dealership. I ain't got to worry about them doing anything wrong. But then, as I started to learn the process of oil changes and filter change and stuff like that, you don't have to be an expert. So, yeah, you don't have to be an expert and stuff like that. Just remember to, you know, tighten up your plugs and stuff like that. Make sure you put the correct amount and the correct viscosity of oil, and that's it. I mean, basically you do it yourself. If you got the tool and you got the time. But me, and just like many others stuff, you think, okay, well, I want to get my stuff done right, so I better just take it to the dealership. So they charge that astronomical price, and that's when I learned later on they charge this because they don't want you coming in there. They like, well, hey, we charge 600, but then you go to a TA or a speed code, something this what they're charging basically for the same thing. You know what you gonna do? They got time. We really don't have time and stuff like that. But that's what that's what they do. They set these prices to deviate people from even going in there. Especially if you got old equipment. Yeah, you go in there for parts, but as far as like getting things done. Now they don't want you coming in there because they like, hey man, listen, ECM programming and stuff. If your truck is old, people got, everybody has the program. Everybody has the program for the ECM now. You don't have to come here anymore. Um, yeah, if your truck is newer, then yeah, then you got to go in there because they never sold the code. You know, they never sold the code. But once the truck gets about 3 years old and stuff, then they sell the codes and stuff, and then guys put them in their computers and say, "Oh yeah, I can program your ECM or your CPA C2 or anything else that you need." Or people just in that amount of time they done mess with it enough to where they crack the code. You know, just like that's why we got so many surgeons and stuff out here now. When they found out, okay, wow, you can get rid of the cancer. Okay, yeah, cool. You know, this is what you got to do here and stuff. And so, once the code was cracked, they like, hey, it used to be only certain doctors in certain regions and stuff, could do the surgery. But now, you got cancer specialists everywhere. You know, you got cancer specialists everywhere and stuff. I mean, you don't have to travel far and wide no more. You got one in your back door. Yeah, okay, you got that issue there and stuff. Yeah, go ahead and get that go and get that cut right on out and stuff, man, and you'll be as good as new. So that's stuff that's been going on with me. I said I'm gonna go with me doing this live here and stuff. I said I'm gonna go more in depth on my Instagram channel. So for you guys stuff that follow me, for you guys that don't follow me and stuff, follow me on Instagram, which is Rhode Island Red Rooster 22. Rhode Island Red Rooster 22 on Instagram. I'm always posting up things about my 2013 Freightliner Cascadia, and I see that these videos are now more important because Every time I'm looking things up and stuff for the Cascadia, everything I'm looking for the Cascadia and stuff, man. People are they posting stuff up, but I mean, there's a bit of a language barrier that's going on, and so I figure, I can go ahead and give more clarity and stuff, for people who don't want to use the closed caption you don't want to use the closed caption option. Yeah, preacher. Yeah, I'm doing fine. I'm doing okay. Yeah, I'm doing okay. Do I look sick? Uh-oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Yeah, do I look sick? Because if I doing stuff again, I apologize. Yep. But yeah, I'm okay. I'm all right. It's um just putting a couple things and stuff together. Yeah, just putting a couple things and stuff together. I don't know if you guys can see this back here that I got my hand on, but that's uh when I do the big reveal and stuff, man, that's everything will pretty much make sense about why why I haven't been going live and stuff as much as I have, cause you know I wanna kind of change things up a little bit and stuff. I said, man, you like especially that thing that happened a couple days ago. I try to keep the channel. I try to keep the channel and stuff about being, just being an own operator and stuff like that. But dude, it's I'm not even gonna kid you. It's things that it's things I really want to talk about and stuff outside of trucking. It's like, yeah, it's things that's in trucking, but I don't want to be up here gossiping about people. But there are things that I do want to talk about that I feel that it can relate to us as people. Like I love this trucking thing, but there are some things and stuff I want to talk about and just get a better insight on stuff, so that's the whole purpose of just going hard on this studio, cause I mean I know I said it's gonna be a trucking thing, and yeah, I wanted to be a trucking thing, but I wanted to be a little bit different, man. Yeah, I wanted to be a little bit different and stuff and say, okay, yeah, well, let's talk about some of these issues and stuff here. It's not going to veer too far off in trucking, but I mean, it's not going to veer too far off of trucking, but there are some things and stuff, and then some people say certain stuff, like, uh, they just need to be called on it. That's just my thing, man. Let's see what you got. Let's see. Have you ever changed your injector pass through seals? I can't find a video of anyone doing the number 6 one. Injector pass through seals. No, no, I haven't. No, I haven't changed it. I'm trying to think. What is that guy name? It's this one brother and stuff. Um, it's this one brother and stuff. He's connected with another guy and stuff. On Instagram, it's a guy named Mr. Stacks 100. Mr. Stacks 100. He got a Freightliner Classic, but he got another partner and stuff that does YouTube videos, and his stuff is strictly on Freightliner Cascadia stuff. It's strictly Freightliner Cascadia, and he usually stays like in the Virginia area. I usually run up with him in uh, Cortland. Yeah, yeah, Cortland. That loves in Cortland. He does a lot of work and stuff out of Virginia, but everything that he does is Freightliner Cascadia based, and I think there's not a part on that truck that he hasn't touched. And I just can't think of that guy's channel though. I can't think of that guy's channel, but I know he's connected to Mr. Stacks 100. So if you follow Mr. Stacks 100 on Instagram and you look at some of the work and stuff about the Cascadia, that's where you'll probably find them at. Let's see what you got, preacher. Just making a show. It doesn't have to be dedicated. Just try. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just the platform and stuff. Once I get everything set up, it's like I seen Calvin Leaks. Calvin Leaks. He kind he does his like that sometime where I I wanted it's with Stream. What's that guy on Stream? I forget that Stream thing and stuff. I forget what it's called and stuff. I kind of want to go that way, but I don't want to I don't want to be up here for 10 hours just rambling about. I don't want to be up here, 10 hours just rambling about a whole bunch of nonsense and stuff like that. Like, yeah, get people up here, get you a chance to speak. We can speak live and stuff. We can look at things, we can look up things and stuff together and do that sort of thing there and stuff instead of people just listening and typing things and stuff like that. Cause sometimes I can go a little bit too fast with the information, and then by the time you post something up, right, I'm like way, way beyond what I was talking about, and so we have to go back a little bit. So, but yeah, just people chiming in and stuff like that. My day ones, like um, but I have to get Streamyard. That's what it is, Streamyard. I kind of want something, StreamYard is just it's good. It's just it looks a little janky. And it looks a little janky and stuff, man. I kind of want to go, that's the premise of it, but I just don't want that StreamYard setup. I don't want that, and I don't want to be up here for long periods of time and stuff like that. We ain't gonna sit here and make it a whole. We ain't gonna sit here and make it a whole 8, 10 hours. Just up here rambling and talking about stuff like hey, everybody has something to say. We chime in. We chime in. Um, because I was thinking about doing Twitter, but I'm like, nah, the Twitter is okay, but it's something that has to be continuous, and it has to be something that's continuous and stuff. And so, I mean, in order for it to work, I got to be at the house to set everything up. And so, y'all know I'm not home like that, but I will be home. And when I do, I just, that's the best place to go live, and we can lay all the stuff on out there and stuff like that. Talk about other things in the trucking world. You know, get some folk to chime in, cause um, it's gotta happen. It's gotta happen. So but one of the first things that I'm gonna do is that credit repair, right? Credit repair and stuff. I got a couple people that I'm gonna bring on and stuff, and you guys can actually ask the questions about um about the credit repair and stuff. Cause I said that's very imperative that you get to understand about that. Also, some CPAs. Some CPAs and stuff. That's going to be the first two things and stuff. If I don't do anything else, it's going to be those two right there: the credit repairs and the CPAs. Guys, I know a lot of people have questions, and a lot of people have questions and stuff like that. And I don't want to, put myself in the position of being an expert on these things. So let's just go get the experts themselves. So that way, if anybody have any questions, you're talking to the people themselves, and then you yourself can get set up. If not with them, with somebody in the area, cause it's just it's an area and stuff that although we're not very familiar with it and stuff like that, but we should be, especially going into these times here and stuff. Cause I mean this administration is and it doesn't matter whether it's Joe Biden's administration or whoever and stuff takes over after him, or if he gets it another 4 years and stuff. It's just a lot of this stuff we need to be familiar with and stuff that's coming out of the pipeline, so that we ain't sitting there just, um, we ain't sitting there just talking about a whole bunch of stuff, But I mean, we actually know the stuff that we're talking about, and yeah, it's coming, and this is what it is. Instead of just speculating, like how the guys used to be back in the day. When you go into Petro and you hear a bunch of guys up here talking this, gossiping and stuff and talking about all this nonsense that haven't came into fruition, or speculating about what law and stuff that we can do and what we can't do and stuff. That just put that mess to rest. So, uh, yeah, there you go. There you go and stuff. If another thing, we gotta, another thing and stuff that I want to be real big on is health. Cause I mean, I don't know if you guys, I don't know if you guys stuff remember Jay the Trucker, right? Truck, not Jay the Trucker, Trucker named Jay, uh, Trucker named Jay and stuff. I think about Trucker named Jay constantly, and um, the health segment. I want to get something going and stuff on that part there, but I'm gonna need to get permission from his family. If I'm gonna go real in depth and stuff with Trucking AJ Kai's, Trucking AJ and stuff, he was real big on health advocacy, and I mean he did the very best that he can do. He did the very best that he can do and stuff, man. And so, um, if he was here today, he'll still be talking about health advocacy and stuff. I mean, the guy he did a whole lot of stuff, man. I mean, he water fast, he cut back on the eating and stuff like that. I mean, when you seen Truckin' AJ when he first got out here, and then to see that transition that he made and stuff during that time, you know, I mean, the guy did a real good job and stuff. But it's just, I mean, for the guy to be so young and stuff, and I mean, he just somebody I think about constantly. And that health thing is something that's got to be pushed, guys. I mean, he did this guy he did better than most of us. I mean, this water fast and stuff. I mean, really like 14. He went what? He actually went a little bit long and stuff. And here it is, we're over here eating 3 and 4 times a day and stuff. I mean, like with me, me especially, I cut back to eat just one time a day. But um, he went in harder than anybody I could think of and stuff. And I'm pretty sure there's probably some folk that went in, probably harder. But him, he was always, he was just always focused on. I mean, even though I mean, he was outspoken about a lot of stuff, but that health thing was just something he was real big on. So I want to dedicate, I want to dedicate something to him on that part there and stuff, right? To keep this thing and stuff going. But if I'm really gonna use his likeness and stuff like that, I definitely gotta reach out to his family and get their permission and stuff before if I do anything. But you know, I definitely want to dedicate something to that brother Dan stuff as far as the health section, guys. Dude, it's important, man. I mean, we get our CDLs, and we get our CDLs and stuff, and as a young person, you really don't start, you really don't think about like, your physical card and stuff like that. And some of the things that they're rolling, some of the stuff that they're rolling down with, um, it's some things and stuff that they were talking about, like with physical cards and stuff like that. It used to be, well, I ain't gonna say it still is now and stuff. You get a physical card, and if you didn't get certified right, you go get a second opinion. Okay, well, hey, let me go over and find another physician, and so on and so forth. But they're trying to get to a point now. If you fail, right? If I ain't gonna say you fail, if you can't be certified at one clinic, then they enter into a database and stuff. You can't go somewhere else and get a second opinion. It's in there, and it's in there, and that's that. And you can't go nowhere else and stuff. Just like I used to be with your, when you test for your license. If you Yeah, you test for your license. If you didn't pass, then you just go over to the next city and take the test and stuff over there. But they changed all that. So if you fail one place, then you failed everywhere. Everybody know. And so we want to get ahead of this by want to get ahead of this and stuff, man, by recognizing, you know, cholesterol, cholesterol, good dieting, these sort of things here and stuff, guys. As you get older, your body breaks down and stuff. And uh, this job, I've been doing, I've been driving trucks now and stuff for over 21 years now. You know, I've been driving for over 21 years and stuff. I only had, before I started driving trucks, I only had, let's see, I did two other jobs and stuff before I started driving trucks. So I mean, and I tried to get in here as young as I could. I was 21 when I first started. So before then, I worked at prison, and before then I was a forklift operator. And after then, I was in school. So I always knew I was going to do this job. And looking back 21 years later, health is one of the biggest factors and stuff that if it's something that I can really do something about, man, it's definitely the health because going in getting a DOT physical wasn't nothing. It's just okay. It's a waste of time going in here spend this money and that's that. Now I go in there and I'm worried. Like, hey man, your your blood pressure is elevated. Yeah, cause I'm concerned and stuff, man. If I'm gonna pass this thing or not. It's like for as long as I've been in this, I've always got a 2-year certification, but you know that can change and stuff. I mean, I was 200. Yeah, I was 200 on the head. When I first started driving trucks, I was 200 on the head and stuff, man. I'm 200 and let's see, I got up to what am I now? 240. 240 and stuff, man. I got all the way up to two, let's see, the biggest I've been and stuff around 270. Yeah, I made up 270 pounds and stuff, man. And so, and it's still a battle. But, I'm just telling folk and stuff, man. You definitely got to watch what you eat and stuff, man. This has come from somebody and stuff that's been in this industry for 21 years, dude. This, it's no joke. It's no joke and stuff, man. I mean, dude, they don't certify you, and you got time in this now. You got time in this now and stuff. It's like, man, 21 years. You know, what can I do? What other job can I do besides drive trucks? 21 years and stuff, man. I mean, it's pretty safe to say, I ain't saying I'm the best, but if I've been doing this long and stuff, I definitely had to be doing something right. So, and I can't see myself doing anything else, working at some desk or working in some desk and stuff or being a dispatcher or a broker and stuff like that. I mean, this is what it is right here. This is it for me. It's nothing else, except like I said before, there's nothing left for me except the graveyard. You know, um, if I'm able to do this job and stuff for as long as I'm able to do it and stuff, man, I'm gonna keep on doing it. I mean, if I'm 80, if I'm 90 years old, if I'm still able to drive and stuff, and you know, I keep my good health and strength, I'm able to see and my, you know, my coordination and stuff is good, and yeah, I'm gonna still keep doing it. It's not something I'm gonna retire. I ain't looking for retirement. Like, oh, okay, I'm gonna get old enough, and then I'm gonna walk away from this job and stuff, man. I mean, shoot, cause if I retire, what I'm gonna do? A bunch of traveling, a bunch of driving, stuff like that. So I'm doing that now. Maybe I could cut back a little bit and stuff and start incorporating doing things a little bit more. Like, hey, okay, well, since I'm over here in the city and stuff like that, let me go ahead and park and ride around and take care of things and stuff like that. But you know, yeah, to retire and sit back in some recliner and stuff like that and just watch TV all day, nah. Cause even on my downtime, first thing I'm doing is going up here on social media, seeing what's going on in the trucking world, what's going on in the trucking world and stuff. After that, I go to sleep. I wake up. First thing I'm checking, what's going on in the trucking world today. You know, but that's it basically. So, if you guys got any questions for me, go ahead and you go ahead and fire away. But yeah, getting this studio up is getting the studio up and stuff, man. It's one of my. If I don't do anything else this year, I definitely got to get that up. And honestly, a lot of these things could have been up if I just stopped procrastinating on things that I know what's wrong with my truck. Like, look, go ahead, just go ahead and get this thing fixed, man. You know it's a problem. Go ahead and get it fixed, man. Don't put it off. Go ahead and fix it. Find the people. Find the people and stuff. Put the time and the energy in on. Just hey, look, call around. Disappointment is gonna be it's be what's gonna be, but there's gonna be somebody out there and stuff that's gonna do the work. And like I found this guy here and stuff like that. It's a little bit of a headache. I hate reaching out to people and not getting a response and stuff, or they come with this nonsense. But I mean, this is just the industry that we're in. Everybody's gonna come up and say, "Yeah, I'm a good person. I do a good job and stuff like that." But you begin to start asking them questions about things that they should know, and then they start, wasting your time with this nonsense. And all I'm trying to do is just find somebody that's qualified to do the work. You say you could do it. This is how you make a living. All right, cool. I give you the job, but then you got the opportunity and you just squander it on nonsense because you think other things are more important. So it's, everybody need that connect and stuff, man. I just been slacking on that. I got some people, but I feel I can have more people if I just put that time and energy into that and stuff. And so but it's a bit of a letdown and stuff like that. I mean, that shop that did the transmission rebuild. I mean, you know, honestly, if I, he did all right, but he didn't do what he was supposed to do. So I'm like, I can't really advocate for something like that, cause if he did a transmission and he does in frame, right? He does in frame work. So if he screwed that up there and stuff, right? Just imagine, you know. Let's see. It said, Rooster, when you are figuring up, it said, Rooster, when you're figuring up the cost per mile, do you include your personal bills or anything related to operating of the truck? Yes, I include everything. I include every single thing that's gonna, every single thing or anything that I may potentially have to spend money on. It's all in there. It's all in there. It's all in there, and I'm not gonna accept a penny less than that. It's all in there. Anything, the stuff that you know, like Connecticut, for instance. This is a new thing that I did for Connecticut. they incorporate that new tax and stuff. So, this is a cost that's passed on to the customers there and stuff. So when they start talking about, a cost increase, I have to remind them, hey man, look, this is what my operational cost is. So if you're gonna start dealing with people up here, this is what it's gonna cost. This is what the state wants. This is what I got to have. Cause everybody's gonna have their money. You know, uh, tax people gonna have their money. Fuel people gonna have their money. The bill people, my personal bills and stuff, yeah, they're gonna have their money and stuff too. So. Um, everything is incorporated, even stuff that I don't use. It's just like the parking, right? That reserved parking stuff. I don't use it, but it's a cost that I incorporate because you know if push come to shove and stuff, man, then the funds and stuff are there. So yeah, you got to pay for my parking. Absolutely. You're going to have to pay for the parking and stuff, cause you ain't got parking at your facility. If I drive it straight there, I can't park there. You tell me find the nearest truck stop. Truck stop charges money and stuff like that. I pay them. You know, um, tolls and stuff like that. The cost of food, everything. Yeah, it's all incorporated. I don't cut no slack on none of it. Why? Because nobody does it anywhere else. The cost is the cost. When you take your stuff to UPS, or if you take it to UPS, FedEx, United Postal, or whatever, they say, man, look, if it's going from this point right here to this point, it ain't no flat rate. This is what the price is, right? The price is the price. So when fuel and stuff goes up, they incorporate it in there. But it's just with them versus us, they have more. The reason why they can set their rate, the reason why they can set their rates and solidify it is because they can see things. They can see things further than we can. Despite the fact, it's when fuel goes up, they already know that the fuel is going up way in advance, and they get their business and stuff set up to a point to where when it comes, right, they can go and impact the cost of any kind of raise or whatever and stuff. That's what, to have a corporation, to have an insight and stuff, they like, hey, look, all right, this is what we're looking at. This is what we're looking at for the next year. So this is what the operational cost is going to be. So what do we have? When they sit down and have those meetings and stuff like that, you know, and they start setting up contracts. They know which contracts to keep. They know which contracts to let go. They know which ones to say, okay, yeah, we're gonna cover them. We know which contracts that we're gonna third party. That sort of thing. There, they can see these things and stuff. Years. You know, depending on how big the corporation is, they can see these things years and stuff on head. But when you're just a single individual person, you got to kind of you got to put some feelers and stuff out there, and then kind of hope for the best. You know, that's where they got us on contracts and stuff on. So it's very difficult for, a smaller operation. You set up a contract, and then you set it up for this right here and stuff, and then you know, you can't see the oncoming impact and stuff, but like, all right, they're gonna raise the fuel up. They're gonna raise the fuel up around this time here, and you got the contract set in at this rate here, and it's non-negotiable because you don't sign. So now, you know, you either you either operate within the confines of what you have and say, well, all right, I guess I'm not gonna be very profitable if I clear anything at all. But you know, that's what we have to do as small people. But yeah, everything has to be taken into and stuff. And you gotta put your ear to the ground. Anybody that can give you any kind of insight about anything that's coming up in the next, if it's in the next week, or if they can give you a month projection, you know, that's helpful. I ain't talking about a month speculation. I'm talking about month projection. Like, yeah, this is what's going to happen. You know, this is what's going to happen. And so, So you got to really center your business and stuff around that. You can't say, well, all right, you can't put feelings involved in it. A lot of people want to put their feelings and stuff in it. Well, I feel I feel I should do this and I should do that because I'm a truck driver and this is, you know, they not talking on the aspect of business. They're going in there and they're telling people, this is what it's going to be and stuff like that. And I'm saying that's cool to have the attitude. Just don't let folk know. Just don't let people know and stuff that it's some things some people should know, and then it's some things folks shouldn't know. And I'm like, um, I guess we get this confused too about. You remember that old saying, "Never talk to the help." Never talk to the help. Why? Because the help doesn't know anything about business. And so, we're business people. We're business people. You can't expect someone who's business centered to talk to an employee and stuff to understand, hey, look, this is how things work and stuff. And, to get things going efficiently, this is what has to be done. The employee, he's just there, he's just there to ride the clock and stuff like that. And, you see in the videos they make the song, hey, I don't never do nothing at work. I don't never do nothing at work. I'll just mess around with company time. That's all they are and stuff. I mean, just like this place here and stuff I'm loading at. I mean, this guy, yeah, this guy is taking packing slips, right? He's taking packing slips, and so this guy, and it's funny. I mean, this dude is the guy that's checking me in. He's dressed pretty nice. And then it's another guy that's behind him. He's taking packing slips and taking the things and stuff off and putting it on this dude. He's putting it on this dude's shirt while he's talking to me to get me checked in so I can pick up a load. And you gotta maintain the stuff while this foolishness is going on. This guy's up here, cracking jokes and being loud and all this stuff here. But see, I gotta be patient with him because I remember, okay, he's an employee. He's an employee. He doesn't understand business and stuff. I just hope that the guy is taking down the information to a point to where we don't screw things up. Cause obviously he ain't got nothing to lose. If he doing dumb stuff like he ain't got nothing to lose. I do, and many of us and stuff. I mean, you know, and so that's also something that I incorporate in some of the places that I go to. If I know I'm gonna be dealing with a bunch of foolishness and stuff, a bunch of employees, then yeah, I gotta incorporate that in my operational costs. Time is money, and I know when I go to try to get checked in and stuff, man, everybody's on break or they watching their phone or on some social media and stuff like that, and they're gonna act like they don't see me. They're gonna act like they don't see me and stuff, right? So I just make a list of these places, and then I add this cost in. Okay, time is money. So when I get there, it's already anticipated that these things are gonna happen, but it's in my operational costs. You know, but yeah, everything has to be included in there. Everything has to be included in there and stuff. Yeah, your personal bills and stuff. I'm just saying. I mean, I ain't saying that. You know, I'm not saying not to get the expensive car and stuff, but I'm just don't sit there and incorporate expensive car. I understand. Yeah, you want the Lamborghini or the Bugatti and all that other stuff there, but it comes later. That comes later. But don't be charging people. Don't be charging people on account that, man, you want that Bugatti. You want that Bugatti and stuff. But I will say this though. Um, right now I'm driving a Freightliner Cascadia, so there's a price for this Cascadia. But Um, if things change and I get that W900, then they're gonna be charged. They're gonna be charged a W900 price. They're gonna be charged a W900 price and stuff. When this reefer unit comes through, that's something that's gonna be incorporated in the business cost. So, but anyway, uh, that's tonight's science. I hope that the information was helpful. Hope that you learned from the numerous amounts of mistakes and stuff that I made so that you can incorporate this in your business and don't do the same thing as I do. Because, like I said, I understand people out here screw up, but man, there's nobody up here more screwed up than myself. And so, any information that I have, I'm more than welcome to share it with you guys and stuff so that you don't make the same mistakes that I did. Um, and so, if you need more insight about what's going on in the industry and stuff like that, we keep it about trucking. Um, my telephone number is up here on my personal page. I do say text me first. Text me first. Let me know who you are. Let me know what your subject matter and stuff is, and that way I can get myself prepared so that we can go and construct a dialogue about the things that's going on in the industry. Right? We're gonna keep it about trucking. All right. But yeah, again, text me first. Let me know who you are. Let me know what the subject matter is and stuff like that. We can set it. We can set up a time, set up a day and stuff, and talk about the things that need to be talked about in business. Also, hit me up on my Instagram page, which is Rhode Island Red Rooster, Rhode Island Red Rooster 22 on Instagram. Where I'm always posting up things about my 2013 Freightliner Cascadia. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, my name is that one, that only, that beautiful Rhode Island Red Rooster. Telling you as always, continue to do your own research, fact finding, and studies. Harness on your skills every day. Till next time we talk, next time we meet, be safe, be easy, peace out.